Alrighty, last replay is going to be from the perspective of P1 Drow. Just going to get to the beginning, not too far. Okay, what's going on here? Alright, here we go. Whoop, pause. There we go. Alright, starting items look good. On set of tangos, going for a double circlet and a branch. Hopefully the branch gets used for a magic wand. Wouldn't be the worst thing if it was just eaten for double tango, but seems a smidge. Okay, yeah, you have queued up a wand. That's good. So we're shoving first blood top, so it's good to just stay behind and hide, basically give up on bot runes. That's perfectly fine. I think you actually end up getting it though, and then dying. Yeah, so that's unfortunate here. You're man fighting for it. At this point, you're basically committed and definitely dead. Good steal, tossed up. I go up to the top and then deny the this one up here. That'd be good. But you die. That's okay. It would have been really good if you were able to deny that one, because then we would have gotten 3 for 0, but we still got 3 for 2, or sorry, 2 for 1, and no, 3 for 1. What am I talking about? But both carries died, so we got first blood on their lifestealer up top, and then the Drow dies bottom. So even trade, but we come ahead on gold. Excellent lane equilibrium. This is a perfect spot for you. Should be able to get all these. Wow, Underlord walks away. He's not even trying to contest. That's fantastic. That's a free deny. You should get that. You hit too early. That's not gonna work. Yeah, that's a missed, uncontested deny. It's okay. Good little shot on the tiny. Let him know he's there. Don't miss these. Don't miss that last hit though. Okay, that's good. Harass. Missed 1 CS, but you still got. Oh, let me turn on the counter. That's a deny right there. Hit that. Okay, got that one. That was early. It's fine. And turn around, get that one. Okay, that was a miss. So first wave, you're at oh, excuse me, 1-1, but Underlord is 0-0, so you're ahead. But you should have gotten 2 more there, so you should have twice as many CS right now. Not a big deal. This is good. You can pull back, but you really don't have to. Get that right one. Okay, easy. Deny. Last hit. Okay, so that hit right there, you could have gotten the last hit instead of hitting the Underlord, but it's not a big deal. You decided to harass, but you basically got a tiny smidge of damage on him. He's down to what, 650? That's not going to do anything. You really wanted to just get that last hit instead. All right, that one's good. It should be a free deny. Okay, did get it. And hold that creep right there. Don't. Okay, well, I mean, if you last hit it here, that's fine too, but it's going to be a little harder. That's fine. See, and the thing about that is if you had held that range creep outside of the tower range for just a second longer, it would have worked out better because here, okay, the range creep is coming back. You're going to be able to last hit this guy either way. Like, you've got enough damage, you're probably going to get it just fine. But if you hold this creep out here beyond the tower range, like, no, I don't get the ring. Basically, the tower range is somewhere out here. Basically, just body block it. You have full life. You're going to regen whatever tiny smidge of damage this guy does. The Underlord's way up here somewhere. It's unlikely that the tiny's going to swoop in and toss you back for this awesome play. Just body block a little bit. Take this guy right here, because then when he gets up here, you don't even have to hit this guy that much. Just let him beat up on you. Your creeps are going to show up there. Let's see, your creeps are, what, how far out here? Enemy creeps are probably about equal to that. So enemy creeps are probably somewhere in this area, right behind. And if you do that, you're going to keep the creep equilibrium on this side. But instead, you're going to let the tower hit him, and it's going to be pretty unfortunate here. Body block right here. Stop that, because now your creeps are going to stop long enough to try and hit this guy that the next wave of creeps is going to also get hit by the tower. So you're now going to try and last hit this wave right here while competing with the tower for all those, whereas you could have had the creeps stop probably in a line right about here, and then they would have been out of tower range. It would have been easier for you. But still, the Underlord is like, he's not even trying. He's just staying way back there. So this is free farm for you, which is good. All right, back to perspective. Free deny. Okay, you went for less hit. That's fine. Freebie. That was early. Harass. Good. Turn around. Last hit. Good. And those are all good hits. Yep, stay on that tiny. Orb walk him. Okay, good. Nice. Easy kill. Get away from the Underlord now. It's kind of a weird spot. Free deny there on the left. Just deny that. He's so far away, he's not going to get this. Yep, there you go. Just keep hitting. Oh, get it, get it. Okay, you actually let him get that free last hit because you think I went for something else over here. That was weird. Right, easy last hit right there. Okay. Another freebie right here. You missed that one. You got the, okay, so this is weird. You've got a lot of gold here. So you've got the magic stick bought in your inventory. You don't have the recipe for the wand, even though you could. You probably have enough gold. Yeah, you have enough gold to buy both the stick, the wand recipe, and your wraith band. And then you're not going to have enough gold for the rest of your start of your power treads for all. So you should be quick buying these two items right here. Oh, excuse me. Quick buy these two items. You should have a hotkey probably on your mouse or something. I've got one on like one of my mouse thumb keys, so I don't even have to do anything else. While I'm trying to CS, I can just use my thumb to quickly hit the purchase and courier send out button. And you could have these three items on their way to you right now. So the fact that these are sitting here is a pretty big inefficiency because Underlord's going to want to constantly spam into Firestorm. Tiny's going to be doing stuff over here to try and harass your support, but you're still going to be close enough, or a lot of times you'll be close enough to get the stick charges. So the sooner you get the stick out, the better you're going to do. And with as much gold as you have, there's no reason not to have these three items already on their way. That's 200, 150, that's 360. So you could take 360 out of this. You'd still have just under 200. So that's not enough for power trade items. Like you can't buy any of these for 200. But you might as well just get these out and then get a piece of this later. Looks like maybe you're waiting till you can afford gloves of haste or something and then send out 4 items at a time. But it's kind of inefficient to basically save your curry up for 4 mid-priced items. These aren't all cheap items. It's not like you're buying like a tango and a mango or something. These are pretty expensive. So I would definitely send those out a little earlier. All right, that's a free deny. You should get that. Good. Watch this last hit. There, that's good. And then, so that Witch Doctor is dancing around with the Tiny over here. So it's just a pure 1v1 with this Underlord. You don't have to worry about the Tiny nuking you. He may be saying that over voice. You maybe just glance at the mini-map. But, you can just focus on the last hitting and trying to get the contest and the harass without any other worry at this point. A lot of Frost Arrow usage, which is okay. Deny, easy deny. Too early? Yep, okay. See, what are you at? You're at 10-6. He's at 3-0. That's great. Last hit that? Okay, that was a big miss. Like you were just tanking damage here. So in that case, you were tanking damage from this melee creep and you started to walk away from it and you missed it. So at that point, the melee creep is doing, I don't know how much damage this little shit's doing. 21 damage. So he's doing 21 and you have 5 armor. So you're taking like nothing from this melee creep. He could beat on you all day and you'll be fine. Let him hit you 2 or 3 times and make sure you hit that last hit as opposed to running away from a melee creep and then potentially miss it. Maybe you saw the Tiny coming in and that would be legitimate, but I think that was beforehand. I don't think the Tiny was here in time. Early, okay. That's a freebie, that was missed. Still at 10-6, you've missed I think the last 4. Actually, move your camera up, can't see. Okay, back away here. Good. Free denies right there. Okay, so you missed those, and I understand why. I think you were just getting away from the Tiny, but those were freebies. So your camera's too far away. Okay, so Tiny's coming up here, and I guess you're worried. Witch Doctor's way out here doing his own thing. That's a deny, probably hard to get. That last hit's not going to be here in time. As soon as the Firestorm hits and the Tiny runs up, you should be running out, and I understand that. But once the Firestorm hits, this is going to nuke these 2 range creeps down. That's a big part of his XP. So he's suffering. Tiny's still level 1 at this point. So Tiny's been absolutely dumpstered. You want to run away as soon as you see the Firestorm and Tiny. Run out to about here, but you want to stay in range and then deny these 2 creeps here. Because it looks like you run away a little late and then you let these ones go. So let's see. Okay, so on the next fire, you're just absolutely flat running. You're clicking out here. I can see the indicator, which is okay. But basically, the Firestorm just hit. The next wave of Firestorm's going to hit, and then that creep's going to be deniable. And then after that, this one's going to be deniable. Witch Doctor's doing some. Okay, he's trying to stack That's fine. But if you run out down here, you're getting nothing. So basically, if you were able to immediately get to the spot you were clicking on, you'd be out of XP range for what little bit of damage these creeps are going to do that. So they're probably all going to get through fine, but you're definitely going to miss these last hits. And Tiny's not going to be able to run all the way through here if you're standing here to try and deny that to get to you and like toss you back in. So I would probably stay a little closer. Like right now, that would be a deny. So turn around, deny the creep on the right, and then that next wave, deny that creep on the right. So this would be 1, 2. You could have denied both those range creeps. Well, this is fine. Still don't have your items in the courier. So now you've put the 3 items I talked about in the stash, and that was probably like a full minute ago. You still haven't sent them out. Now you're up to 350. So yeah, I get it. You're trying to buy another big item, but just big miss on efficiency. If you had that magic stick a minute ago, it would have arrived. You would have picked up a few charges. You'd have the wand, so that gives you extra stats. The Wraithband recipe, that gives you extra stats. You could have had all these extra stats, probably 2 or 3 charges on your wand, so you'd probably have like another emergency 30, 40 health and mana, and be able to sort of stay here 2v1 or 1v2 while your Witch Doctor's doing other stuff. So you really should call that courier earlier. Now it's too late. Now I would definitely keep it where it's at now, but previously we made a good one. Yep, so you saw the Tiny over there. He flashed. That's good. So this is the right answer. You saw the Tiny just for a brief second flashing these trees, and this is perfect. You play on the left side of the lane knowing the Tiny's in the jungle here looking for a toss. That's perfect. Freebie here. You shouldn't miss this. Okay, good. Tiny's still over here somewhere, so playing scared. That's good. That's exactly right. Tiny's basically waiting. Okay, so at this point, Tiny is hiding in the trees. He's probably hoping that you chase the lane up, and his idea was he's going to run out here and basically avalanche toss you onto the Underlord right as you chase the creep wave. You had the sense to stay away from it. That's perfect. Now go take this. So, Underlord. Witch Doctor stacked this camp and pulled it into the lane, which is great because this double small camp is going to wipe out this wave, so it's going to kill it completely. This wave is all going to die from Underlord. And this is your camp. Witch Doctor should not be sitting here trying to last hit these and deny the creeps here. This is yours. You're sitting here doing nothing. Oh, excuse me. Run over here and take this camp. This is all yours. Witch Doctor should be up here looking for the Tiny at this point, and then you should be taking this farm here and trying to flash that as quick as you can to get back before those creeps hit your tower. Okay, now you're doing it. This is good. Yep, deny that one. You're not going to get a single last hit here. Oh, get that first one. Okay, so I would have killed that first one, but that's fine. You still get here while the creeps hit, so I think you left this camp just a hair too early. You missed a free last hit on one of those creeps, and you got here is about those creeps are coming here. You can actually let these little minions smack your tier 1 tower once or twice. Like they're doing no damage. The tower has 12 armor. These little guys are still doing what, 20 some damage? Yeah, so they're going to do 2 damage to this tower or something pathetic, and you can let them get all the way on the tower and smack it once or twice. Try not to lose too much efficiency, but I do understand coming back. This is good. Witch Doctor has great vision. He should have Maledict cast. Okay, that's good. That was an excellent nuke there coming through the trees. If he had used his Maledict, that would have been a lot of damage. This is fine. And now you've got perfect creep. This is fantastic. Absolutely perfect spot. I think that the tower range is like right here, so you're basically free farming again. Okay. I think you could have denied that one. Deny this range creep at the very least. This is important. There you go. Last hit and deny. Okay, or deny and last hit. That's cool. Interesting. That was a freebie. You could have had that one. That's a freebie. You got that one. Good, good. 18-8 to 13-2. Okay, so he caught up a lot. So you were crushing him, and you're still beating him. So 18-8 to 13-2 is still a huge difference. But he had nothing. So the Underlord has definitely picked up on the last hits. And you've been last hitting great, but you did miss a kind of like 1 every wave. Like you're averaging 1 missed CS a wave. Not terrible. And you're still winning. And this is still a fantastic position. Witch Doctor is dancing with Tiny out here, exactly as he should be. Okay. Yep. Last hit deny, that's perfect. So you're prepping it exactly the way you should. Okay, there you go. I'd be careful about standing on that side because, see, the thing is, the Witch Doctor and the Tiny were dancing over here in this area, and so this side is the riskier side because he can sneak through these trees, and you only have just a second before he got here, and at that point he's got an avalanche range. He could avalanche you and then toss you on the last tick of the avalanche back. So I wouldn't last hit from this side. I would last hit over here on the right side, which it seems like you're going to do now. But that was after the Tiny showed. You were kind of last hitting behind this tree for a second, which was risky. Otherwise, fantastic. Chase. Okay, deny maybe. Yep, that was a good one. Yeah, let Witch Doctor solo the tiny. There's no reason for you to try and to get in position for that. Witch Doctor's doing a great job of harassing the tiny, but you don't need to be there for that. Yeah, so that was just unfortunate. So the Witch Doctor's, doing his Witch Doctor thing exactly the way he needs to. You don't need to dance around in these trees for that. I mean, you could get the tiny kill, but it's pretty unlikely, and you really want this early farm to dumpster the Underlord early. So I understand, running up to trying to help your support, but at that point the support is so far away. It's not like the fight's real close. Like if the battle was here, definitely help out. But when the fight's way up here next to the river, you don't have the range to get into that, sort of trade. Okay, that was interesting. So you could have had that deny if you'd prepped that earlier, but that's fine. It's only one missing one. Everyone's missing, so stay back. So when both Underlord and Tiny are missing now, they may have just sabbed up, mangoed up, and they could be back. And there's a chance that Tiny is going to pop out from one of these sides. So I wouldn't stand right on the creep wave here. You can probably see us, all these guys, from about here. So you can be standing kind of more where this greenish patch is and still get these fine. I don't think you need to run quite that close, especially when both enemy heroes are missing. Like the Tiny could come right out here and avalanche you easily. Like this is a real easy avalanche catch if he comes out from behind this tree. So you should be right here. This is the farthest spot from the tree lines. You missed that easy deny. That's a good one. Oh wow, you missed that last hit too. That was a freebie, and that's a freebie you're going to miss. Okay, so that was like 3 CS in that wave that went poorly. That's okay. It's just the uncontested ones you got to get while you're not even being bullied by anyone else. Okay, back out of the firestorm and get more denies. Okay, turn around, deny the range creep. Alright, you missed a lot there actually. 30-15, that's still really good though. Still free farming. Underlord's not getting anywhere near your CS. And last hit in the catapult's hard. I don't blame you for missing that one at all. The catapults do too much damage to each other. And again, you're standing really close to group, which is great for the projectile distance. It's easier to last hit when you're on top of them, but it's still a little close. I'm not sure about this. Do you know Tiny's up top or something? That was weird to me. I'm not sure what the Witch Doctor was doing in the jungles on the side there to look for him. There must have been some communication though to kind of figure out that that's where he would be at. Okay, that's fine. Tiny gets the toss back on you. You should have raindrops at this point, so you know that there's a Tiny in your lane, and he's specifically in your lane, and you're the kill target. So you should have raindrops. It's only 220 gold or something like that, and that would be good. Tread swap into the strength. That's excellent. How do you not have any damage yet? Maybe it's the toss. How did he miss all of that? Let me go back and watch that. That was weird. That's fast. So he only gets the. Okay. So he gets the avalanche, which does like no damage because he's level 1 tiny, or level 1 avalanche. So was that 75 damage, a couple procs? Okay, that's interesting. So it's not as big of a deal, but once he gets the toss, like he clearly tossed the creep instead of you, then it quadruples it because it's the toss damage plus the triple avalanche damage, and so for that you'd want raindrops. In that case, it didn't do anything, so it looked kind of silly, but I'd still recommend it in a tiny lane. Good nuke, just go ahead and clear that out. You got this other wave here though. No, pull this away because once you connected these two, now, yeah, that's a shame. Not a big deal, but you could have pulled that down and then this wave would have pulled elsewhere. This is still going to push into you though, if you can't decide which one. The deny, yep. This is really good. You got, let me see, I don't want to jinx it, but you got every single one in that wave. That was fantastic. Didn't miss any of the potential CS. That was really good. Good harass. I don't know if you know the Tiny's missing or something, but this is aggressive. I wouldn't walk back through. You tanked a lot of damage in that firestorm that I think you didn't need to, but you still got your early tangos, so that's fine. And Underlord probably feels like he can't even hang around here anymore, so this is excellent. Yeah, go for the last hit first and then deny. Good deal. And watch the firestorm. Basically just go cast on the same spot, I imagine. Deny. Last hit. I haven't seen you check the Underlord's items yet, so I know what he has because I looked at it earlier, but I'm not sure if you're kind of tracking where his stuff is. You want to kind of make sure that he's not bringing out anything weird that surprises you, and then really you want to keep track of his consumables. You want to know how much regen he has. So just every now and then when you're not really going for last hits or whatever, try and flash click on him real quick just to see how many salves or how many tangos, how many mangoes he has. With Underlord, the mango thing is actually kind of important. You'll get a few to make sure he can throw his combo. Same thing with the tiny. You want to see if the tiny's going like brown boots rush, or if he's got like a salve and extra mangoes for himself, so he can just keep throwing his spells over and over again. But everything's going on up top, so you got the free lane here. That's good. Don't worry too much about harassing. Just get the CS. You're not going to kill the Underlord here. There's no kill potential on him. Harassing him's good, but like you could have gotten all those hits. This is good on Tiny. I remember this. You end up getting him. Lion doesn't have his Hex yet, but you end up orb walking the... That was weird. So your player perspective jumped. I don't know if maybe you misclicked, and let me see. Let me watch that again. Because it looks like you're attacking this guy, and then your player perspective jumps to top lane. I wonder if you misclicked on the mini-map. No, you didn't. I don't know what happened. You're clicking up here in these trees. Okay, see, that was weird. And so your character actually did a little loopy-loop here as you kind of walked around sideways. It doesn't really matter because you do end up getting the last 2 arrows on the tiny and you orb walk it perfectly. But that was weird. Maybe you hit space and then it kicked to the action view. But you did kind of lose vision for a second. And if that was a tougher kill, that might have cost you the tiny. Alright, going for this. It's going to be a tough one. Orb walk. Lion screws up the stuff. Good job on skirting the outside of that route. That was perfect. Where is my... Okay, there we go. So you probably took a little bit more damage than you should have because Lion fucked up there, but that worked out just fine. Trading the Lion for the Underlord is still worth it. Unfortunately, the poor timing of that gank did cost you both of the bottom runes. This is a mistake. So you did pop that tango and you started eating it, and now you've got an item here with stats just sitting in your backpack. You need to move that up. Do you have like a courier immediately on the way? Yeah, it's still far. Let's see what's on the courier. You've got an ogre axe. Like, I guess maybe you just want the ogre axe in your inventory instead, which is okay too. But it's going to be a minute, so I guess it's not. That's neither here nor there. I guess since the item's coming up pretty quick, you can just wait. There's no reason to switch stats. Okay, so that's a mistake right there. Okay, so you had the ogre axe coming out. Your ogre axe was halfway to you. Can I? Oh, free camera. So you've got the elven skin in your backpack, so that's not working. You're not getting the 6 agility from it because it's inactive. You had the ogre staff coming out, which would have been okay because you're going to get the extra 10 strength from it. And I thought you were deliberately keeping the elven skin out because you wanted 10 strength instead, which I agree with. That makes more sense to me. But then you decided to buy a clarity, and then the one clarity you decided to quick buy or purchase and quick send. So now your courier is turned around and it's going back. That's a mistake because now your ogre staff is going to be even that more delayed. The mana for the clarity is not urgently needed, and this entire time you're not even using the elven skin. So that's kind of like a combination of mistakes and inefficiency. If you deliberately really want that clarity and you don't need the ogre, then go ahead and bring the elven skin back up because it's going to be like another full minute for this whole courier to do a round trip back after you've changed your mind. Camera's in a weird spot. Good deny. Okay, you do. Never mind. So you did move up the elven skin. You just didn't wait long enough to see that. And so that really didn't matter because you didn't get ganked in that little time. But you definitely don't want to leave it out too long. It's always good to just look at your inventory every now and then just to kind of remind yourself what you have. And if anything's in the wrong spots or whatever, that's unfortunate. It wasn't really your fault. Your supports went elsewhere, and you had no vision there. You had been playing pretty far up too, so this wave has been sort of in a bad position for a while now. You had fantastic positioning early on. You used to have the lane here constantly, but ever since you've been bullying the Underlord, it's been sort of creeping up and up towards his lane. So it's not as big of a deal. A lot of times, support or carriers at this point will start trying to rotate into the jungle, trying to avoid some ganks, and at this point, you're well past the can jungle point. So I would consider doing that a little bit more. Let's see if you do. Alright, got the Ogre Axe, turns into the Dragon Lance, that's fine. Clarity, it's a freebie. That's a miss, you should have gotten that one, that was easy. The AA is actually catching up to you on CS. Part of that is I think the AA is jungling the side of his jungle as well, but you are missing a couple of freebies, whereas the AA was killing it. That's a good hit. That was probably unnecessary on him. He could have just maledicted, but works out. Good CS here. Those are all. Oh, that was bad. Too early. All right, that all works. It's going to be good harass on the tier 1 tower. No one else is nearby, it looks like. Nothing's happening. Dragon Lance you can hit from outside tower range. That's fantastic. You just discovered that. That's good. Alright, so free hits on that. You can glyph offensively if you think that it's going to be contested, but this works. Like I would have done it last wave, but you got it on the second wave anyway. No one rotated down, so all's well, kind of a thing. Yeah, no big reason to pull that into the wave. Let's go ahead and clear those out. That's the only stack you have. Not even a real stack. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, you did miss the shovel to go mid, but that's fine. Just being real efficient on the farming. The lion grabs the shovel later, and you're shoving in mid. This is perfect. In fact, that invis rune top is great for ganking. No, you should grab that. You should definitely go grab that, and then use that to gank. I don't know what you're doing. Okay, so that was... I guess you wanted the next wave here, so if you clear this wave and then go with it, then that's fine. Okay, so Tiny stole your invis rune there. And I guess I understand what you were doing. I think you were going to nuke this wave here, shove back into the tower, and then use that rune to gank later. But you missed the opportunity and let Tiny take it. And I think that's disastrous, because I think Tiny ends up using it to kill the Viper here in a second. It's an efficiency in your backpack, so you've got your plus 10 agility item backpacked and your plus 6 agility item ready. You should swap those out for free 4 agility. Now you're just dancing. I don't know what's going on. Okay, you do swap the items, that's good. Nuking waves. Pushing deep on the tier 2, I don't recommend that. That's a little... This feels a little exposed. There's that Underlord again, just beating up on him. Poor guy. This is okay, but, this only works out really because top is collapsed, and so top is going poorly, so you can stay there. TPing in, this is probably good. Unfortunately, a little late, but they all kind of came in at the same time. There's not what you can do here. The gust and the orb walking looks good. Speed this up a little bit. Yep, orb walking is good. He's good. Got another multi-shot nuke, but you're frozen. See if you multi-shot free die. Yep, you do multi-shot. All right, so that's perfect. That's as good as you could have done there. And then the lion comes in way too late, so he should have been able to clear up that AA, but he fucked that up. All right, you're out for 40. It's a really long respawn timer. All right, you're back. Manta style in the recipe in your backpack. I don't really love that, so you basically just waste gold on the recipe, and obviously the idea is you're going to get the entire item when you're out in the field because you grab the orb from the secret shop, but it's still just gold that you didn't need to spend because the recipe money on that 500 means you would have just gotten the orb 500 earlier, and you could have swapped out one of these other items for it, but not a big deal. It's not the least efficient thing, and it may turn out to be perfectly fine if you do just flash farm the orb quickly anyway. Okay, good neutral item, that's better for you. Swap out. You should go for a gank here. Okay, no, that's fine. Kind of expected him to waste his rage, and since he didn't, a Maledict alt from the Witch Doctor would have been good there, but not a big deal. Okay, you're still just flash farming, that's fine. Good save on the Witch Doctor. Fortunately, he misses Maledict. And now you're playing really scared at this point, but that makes sense because your team hasn't given you any good vision. Well, you got good offensive vision, and it looks like Witch Doctor's putting someone on your side now, but this is risky. Basically, you can only see the whoever that guy is pink jungling, and this is kind of iffy. So good to go in the jungle, and at this point I would just power jungle back because your lane is pushed all the way out to basically outside their tier 2, and you should just power jungle all these neutrals. Just good. Seems like you're going to. Looks like you're deciding whether or not you should go back to the lane or not. I guess you can since pink is pushing it in. That's fine. I would have power jungled and let someone else take that because you also saw, okay, so that was good. This ward also revealed that someone else was coming down. The other ward here got dewarded, so you know that someone's basically invaded that area by your small camp. So this is good, but since you'd already seen that, there's no reason to hide behind the wave here. I mean, you can farm that, but really you should just be going back to this jungle here because this is risky farm. This is really risky, and you should just be going for the really safe jungle stuff close towards your mid lane. Yeah, now you're just kind of exploring. This is wasted time. Kind of wasted time. Okay, nuke this wave. That's fine. All right, now go back and... Okay, go for the fight. That's fine. That works out well. Good kills. So in that fight, you did an orb walk, and I'm not sure if it was because you thought you were going to get rooted. But here, you can hit the tiny there, and that's fine. Okay, you're changing targets. Looks like you threw an arrow at Venno, then you threw a arrow here. Okay, there's a little bit of an orb walk. There's one, and then here you're not orb walking at all. I don't see the outline here, but you should be orb walking up. You're just kind of standing still, and you see how your character does a little bit of a cast animation stop. Yeah, she pauses there in the backswing. If you orb walk it, you can eliminate some of the backswing there, and that helps you. Yeah, it looks like you started to do a little step there. That's kind of advanced mechanics, though. It's not a big deal. And you guys also cleaned up the fight nicely. Nuke that wave, shove it into the tower, this is good. You do have way more than enough gold for the orb, so like I get the fight just ended, you want to shove this lane in, but you should, at this point, go right back to the secret shop and get that manta, because that's a huge power spike. You should be running straight to the secret shop to get your manta. Nope, over here, there it is. Found it. Perfect. Alright, that's good stuff. You can also bring out a component of your BKB, or I don't know if you're saving for buyback or something. But that's fine. Your farm rate is excellent at this point. Yeah, that's not a fight. It's going to work out. We're just hanging out here. Yeah, manta. Okay, illusions to shove is good. Yeah, just power jungle again. Nothing's happening. You need to farm up your the court. Don't block that camp. You got it. Perfect. Donate the neutrals. This is good. Double damage. Hopefully you do something with that. Should be a smoke gank off of that double damage. Okay, I remember this. You smoke eventually here. It takes a second. Alright, go in. Delete the Underlord. This works out fine. You got frost arrows on auto cast now, and that's okay. So I don't know if you're just leaving the frost arrows on auto cast completely, but that prevents you from doing the quicker orb walk if you're not manually casting. If you're counting on the auto cast to do it for you, then you're losing some attack speed while you let the backswing run through. So let's see if okay, yeah, a little bit of the well, actually let's see one with the orb. See if you attack these guys. Okay, no, that's just a nuke. Okay, well that's good. He missed you with the tracer. Yeah. And I don't mind the frost arrows being on autocast. That's perfectly fine. You have way more than enough mana than you need to. You just hopefully you're manually casting the arrows as well. And if you don't know what I mean by that, if you leave frost arrows on autocast, it will frost every arrow, but you also get the full backswing, and your character pauses when they're throwing the arrows. But if you manually Q click, Q click, Q click as you're attacking somebody, it actually attacks a little bit faster. Kind of hard to tell when you're doing that in some fights. Is it good Roche? Got that. Good rather stick. That's good. Got a lot of gold now. How much further you? Okay, 26. You should have your BKB coming out to you now. So you got the gold for BKB 16, 1450. It's yeah, that's right. Oh, 4,000 still short. Yeah, still short. Okay, that's fine. This is what I'd say. Like when you have your Aegis, you want that BKB out as soon as possible. There you go. Now it's on its way. And really, because you got the BKB coming out, if you were close, you should have sold one of these Wraith Bands because you're going to want the stick to come back in when your Aegis pops. At least I imagine you want the stick and not the second Wraith Band. So that's just a dead item at this point, and you can just burn this and get another 250. Not that 250 is a lot, but it might get you your BKB a 30-second wave or a minute wave faster. This is a good shove. Everyone's going in. Okay, so this is the one where you have bad positioning. You run up to the top of these stairs, and I'm pretty sure you stand right here in this one spot for the entire fight, which is bad news. So these guys are giving you vision. Yeah, uphill miss makes you miss a few. If that's an issue, run to this back corner and shoot from back here or something. But you really shouldn't be right on the tower in the creep wave like this. This is bad, and you're definitely not moving at all here. You're definitely just standing still. The tracer comes in. You're unfortunately just so close to the middle. You're not going to dodge it, and this works out badly. You could have gusted this guy, so that was interesting. You didn't even try to throw your gust on him. Again, he could have raged through it. So maybe you're just saving till after he rages. But when he runs up that close and he doesn't use his rage, you probably have an opportunity there to throw it, because I don't know if you're going to get another chance here. Yeah, you still have Gust. You've got Manta. Wonder if you're waiting to use everything till after you die, which is not terrible. Yep, okay. You die, move the stick in, or move one of these two things in. All right, so this is a mistake. While you're dying and nothing's happening, you need to move one of your dead backpack items into your BKB slot. You can't do anything while you're watching the Aegis respawn little animation movie. So take the time. Just only take a second. Just drag something up real quick. You should always have something back in this spot. Okay, you got the wand. It's a little on the layer side, but that's fine. Because it doesn't look like it's going to be ready in real soon. Okay, so the Mantis style, you used it before the root, but then you BKB, so it doesn't really matter. But you could have gotten out at this point. So this was your chance to basically back up and reposition a little better. You just sort of decided you were going to be, like machine gun turret right here. So when you get rooted, you can then pop the Manta style or the BKB and get out, and then you can keep fighting from back here, because the damage on the tower is over. Like at this point, no one is attacking the tower. You're not raxing. You really need to focus on the heroes now, and the heroes are getting past you, and you should not be, run past in these fights here. So let's see. You hit the guy here, and again, you should be orb walking your way back out. So you should be orb walking, Q out, Q out, Q out. You're not using frost arrows, or I guess maybe you're using some, but they're I don't know if you're manually orb walking these. Yeah, okay, so you are orb walking. That was good. I saw the step there. But you should really be orb walking back out towards this way, because your BKB is about to run out, and this is where AA is going to crush you. So it looks like you get the Underlord, and that's fine, and now you're dead. And still, this entire time, you've stood in this one spot without moving for probably like a minute or something ridiculous. You could have gotten away, and then it would be you and Witch Doctor surviving against the AA, but instead, AA basically cleans everyone. So that's unfortunate. All right, you come back to life. What are you doing? Going for a Hurricane Pike, that's good. DP not the same size as everyone else, so it takes forever. That's a bad fight, he's dead. Yeah, the Gust was a nice thought, but he's totally fucked. You guys could have stood on the top. Oh, Viper was missing, never mind. Yeah, that was good to get out then. And then Sand King dies because he doesn't see the Vortex. Throw these mantas out for illusion. So you know that they're chasing behind you. Throw your mantas out and then just send them to auto farm those camps. You hit whatever hotkey you have for Manta style, and then you hit Tab to change to the first illusion, and then A-click attack ground the area over here. You can even do it on the minimap. Tab, A-click the other one, and you can send your two illusions out in two different directions to automatically, run into these camps. And they're probably not going to farm them, but at least that way you have some more vision to see if these guys are sticking around this part of the jungle. Because what happens is, Lion went out here to ward, he dies, Sand King runs away but doesn't continue running away like everyone else, sees an Isis Vortex, tries to jungle camp and dies, and now you have no idea how many people are sort of in anywhere in this giant triangle. And so if you've got something free like this Manta style, go ahead and pop it because you're not going to need it to escape if they're jumping over here on you, and they've already used the smoke because you guys called it was a smoke on this one. So it's really unlikely they're going to smoke again. You're going to need it to escape. And even if you do need to escape, you have your BKB. So kick the Manta style, tab, alt clicks, send one out here, and just send it to run through the jungle just for vision, because right now your team really needs the vision. Because what happens is Lion will respawn right here, and he runs up here to try and figure out where everyone's at and ward and deward, and he gets deleted because the enemy team is sitting right here at the top of these stairs. But you could have seen that if you just send the illusions out. And it's not a big deal. It's not like it's your fault that Lion died, but just in general, when you need vision and your team, is just sucking at warding right now, throw your mantas out for free vision when you're not about to get jumped and you have another escape like BKB. All right, so Lion goes and dies here in a second. Yep, he's dead. Now you know your jungle's still unsafe, so you turn around and run away from it. That's good. And now you're on the back foot here. Everyone turtles up. Okay. Not sure how that fight started. Let's go back and watch that. So you come down this way. It's a replay bud. You're not actually poisoned. You get your Force Staff coming out, maybe. I think Sand King gets jumped here. Yeah, he goes on the outside. He gets jumped. Let's watch this. Okay, so there's the root on him. That's fine. You didn't gust there. It's obvious he's going to rage, but okay, so you gusted really late, but that got the tiny. That's okay. Yeah, Force Staff would have been really useful there. Did you get open wounds? No, you just BKB'd anyway. That's fine. So Lifestealer had already used the open wounds on the Sand King, so you didn't actually need to BKB to get away from him. You didn't have the slow on you. You've got the the Poison Nova, but that's fine. Early defensive BKB is fine. Looks like everybody decided to go pop their BKBs a little on the early side. That's fine. This fight goes well, and then you guys chase, and then the fight doesn't go well. So you run bottom. They get stuck here at top, which is probably better for you. You're going bottom here. So I understand the thought of flanking here, and that works out fine. But wow, that really doesn't. You're still stuck in the area. Okay, Manta that off. Okay, so that was a little slow, but the right idea. So when you come up to that fight here, and he roots you, you got to immediately pop your Manta to get away from that. So here you're shooting. You run around this side of the trees. Blind Gust. That's kind of interesting. I like that. And then he hits you with the Atos, and then immediately Manta out of that. That should be like your finger should be hanging over the Manta key, just to be able to use it defensively. So you waited a long time. Basically, the entire duration of the root, it looked like, because it looked like the status bar for the root ended, and then you manted afterwards. Not a big deal. Now you're kind of stuck. You got no BKB. You have wand charges. I don't know if you need them. You might not, but I would be tempted to pop them preemptively just in case, but looks like you get away just fine, and you get to save your wand charges, so that's good. Nope, okay, so that was a mistake. So you decided not to pop your wand charges earlier, and then you pop them after you're already safe. That was pretty big. So you got 8 wand charges here. You're about to get stunned, and so that would be the time if you wanted to, save yourself. You basically get stunned, but Lion hits this Underlord. Underlord starts walking away. You're still stunned. You see that he gets hexed, and then you walk away. Underlord's the only person alive, so there's no more damage coming out. Firestorm's over. Run away, and then you pop the stick charges. That was a waste. You could have had 8 stick charges for your next fight. So that's just unfortunate. I don't know if maybe you were spam clicking it from earlier and it didn't proc through. All right, you're back to power jungling. This is good. You missed a neutral. That's cool. Everything else is going just fine. You're not canceling animations when you're standing in the camp. So like a lot of people you'll see when they go to a jungle camp, they'll attack a creep and then walk a little bit and attack a creep and walk a little bit and attack. When you're at that camp there, you're just standing perfectly still attacking. So let's see here, we'll see it here. See if you do the same thing. All right, walk up to the camp and you attack and you stand perfectly still and you attack again. Okay, so this is the inefficient way to hit things because what you're doing is you're not canceling the animation at all. And so the reason why you see pros dance around and kind of do a wiggle waggle in their games is they're standing at the creep camp, they attack the creep, and then they issue a move command because the move command cancels the backswing animation. And so basically they're like attacks and then like a little half step, attack, half step, attack, half step. And it's not that big of a deal, but it does make a big difference, especially early on. At this point, your attack speed is really high, so you can kind of just stand there and kind of machine gun turret it, and that's fine. But you also lose a little bit of the advantage of things like orb walking. And then definitely like level 1, 2, 3, when you're trying to attack people early on, trying to chase people like a rune first blood, you really want to be taking a step in between each of your auto attacks to try and get a little more efficiency. Alrighty, you don't have anything in your quick buy, so if you get jumped right now and you're about to die, you can't use all your 700 unreliable gold. So that's a misplay here. You should have something in your quick buy so that if Tiny finds you, blinks you, infest bomb, you just instantly get deleted. You have kind of a split second to hit whatever your quick buy hotkey is and save some of your gold. Right now, it says you got 700 some unreliable gold, and you really don't want to like lose that. 400 gold in death cost. That would be an expensive way to lose a lot of your farm here. So put something in your quick buy, and that way you've got a way to save some of your money if you do get jumped. And you should be talking out with your team, so your team needs to know what your next item is, because I don't even know what your next item is going to be now, and I played the game with you. I think it's butterfly, but I'm not sure. You don't have any parts queued up, so like you could afford two of the parts of butterfly if you got jumped and died. Looks like you're just gonna buy a big chunk of it. Okay, so there you go. I see a satanic, and you buy the morbid. That's fine. You could have bought that morbid a long time ago, so that's an inefficiency that you wanted to go for morbid mask, and then turn it into a satanic. You had like 1,700 gold when you were way down here. You could have gotten rid of that stick or the wraith band and had that earlier. Pushing with the illusions, that's perfectly fine. So either push with them or scout with them when you're close to the rest of your team and you got your BKB and you're not worried about dying. Okay, smoke, go kill somebody. This is easy. Pop, delete. A lot of wasted spells there, but that's fine. Got rid of them. All right, nuke those guys. That's kind of interesting. So just to go back here, it looks like you actually did give those separate commands because the illusions went two different ways here. Maybe not. Maybe you gave them the same command. It's just the pathing. But it looks, for a second, it looked like these two illusions were going two different ways. But it looks like they're just meeting up at the same spot. And you did that kind of quickly. So, but either way, good thought. But now team fight is breaking out. Got to move your camera over. Move your camera. There you go. Yeah, this fight's over. That was a bad one. I think you guys get jumped again here. Yeah, you do. All right, good BKB. Use your pike. So you got your hurricane pike. You're not using it. Either offensively, defensively, that's fine. But you've had that for a long time, and both in the Underlord jumping you, and then previously when you were chasing, you haven't been using it. I'm actually kind of interested to see if you pike at all. No, you don't. That's a shame. So you probably could have piked back and had a little bit of range. If you piked someone on the bottom, you would have piked up to the high ground here. There are several ways you could have saved yourself there. And you didn't use your active here for your hurricane. So that's just unfortunate. All right, so that fight's lost. All right, going for butterfly. So you change your mind. That's okay. So you still got the morbid mass. That's just like value lifesteal, which is fine. Talents, multi-shot, agility. Okay. Perfectly happy with all those. Actually, didn't check everyone else's talents as we went through. All right, checking other people's items. That's really good. I haven't really seen a lot of that in the Soul replay, so that worked out really well. Looked like you were checking out Underlord and Tiny's items. All right, neutral items getting swapped out. That's good. The level, that's fine. You missed the smoke, but yeah, that may have been just you going back for your item. This fight goes really well, it looks like. Yep. Yeah, so it looked like you used the Hurricane Pike to try and get close enough for the for the smoke, which is okay. It works out fine. At least you know to use the active though, so it wasn't like you'd never use the active. That's good. Use it again just to farm. All right, I think the game's over at this point. Yeah, everything else is pretty straightforward. We can probably jump back and see how this fight goes, but probably be everything. All right, so it's a replay bug. You don't actually have those debuffs. Everyone's going in for the Roche Pit. That's cool. Someone else picked up the gem. That's good. Okay, so this is a bit of a misplay here. So you guys go into the Roche Pit. You do have a bit of vision up here on the top side. You've got your mantis. So illusions are extremely valuable for vision, and you should be throwing those out to intercept and bait spells and sort of see people that are coming to contest. So whenever you're doing a Roche Pit, you don't need the extra mantas for damage on the Roche. You're doing enough damage to the Roche by itself. And you really don't need it for staying alive, because if someone blinks in, you're immediately going to BKB and probably, hopefully, pike them back and then just shoot them from long range with your BKB on, and you'll be fine. Everyone here's a little low, but again, 3 people on the other team are dead, so it's only going to be stragglers, and you really want to see which side those stragglers come on, because at this point, we jump back a little bit. Your team is doing the Roche fight here, and everyone gets really low, so you're at full health. But if you had used your Manta style, and if you had given one an order to run to the top of this stairwell right here, and then one to run to the river, probably people wouldn't have died in this next fight. So, before even going into the pit, just stop right here, cast your Manta, tab to one of them, send one to stand on the top of the stairwell here, and then tab the other one and send him somewhere out here in this kind of river area. And that way, if the team invades from the river and if they invade from the stairwell, your illusion will at least see it first. And maybe they're smoked, maybe it won't help, but then they'd have to have the discipline to not hit the illusion and know it's an illusion somehow. So chances are that basically gives you enough warning. But because there's no warning up here, Lion or Witch Doctor don't have any wards up here on this high side yet, Venomancer and AA are both going to come down this stairwell, and they're going to nuke you guys. And it comes close, and I don't think any of the cores die, but still, you guys get really low, and it's a risk that you didn't need to take when you could have protected everyone with your Manta. So try and use the illusions more for vision. All right, so there's the Poison Nova. That's going to kill basically, well, it takes out a lot of life. Looks like the Witch Doctor is going to pop here from the Frostbite. Yep. Okay, so Witch Doctor died there when he didn't need to. That was a wasted heal, whoever popped the mech. And let's see, where's your perspective? Okay, you're running away, which is fine, because you, of course, have no life. And again, okay, so same plan. Now there are 4 people dead, and there's only 1 person that can screw you over. And granted, this guy can screw you over from long range, but same plan. Pop your Manta, throw one out the other way, and no one dies. So thinking the Frost Blast doesn't actually get anyone, but we'll see. Okay, oh, right there. That was a huge mistake. So you just saw the Ice Vortex pop. So he's somewhere in this area. The fact that this Ice Vortex just instantaneously spawned right here means he's probably here, or like here. Like, that's his cast range. Like, he can't throw these Ice Vortex from a mile away like he can with the Tracer. So he is right here in the water, right outside next to you. You guys got to do something about that, because he's probably just going to come in and snipe you. You're super low, Viper's super low, Lion's at half, the Sand King's trying to do his thing. This is a huge issue. I think Viper pikes himself out of the pit, which is an excellent play. You could have done the same. You could have force piked out this way, or you can force pike into him and then try and kill him. If you force pike out and you gust him and you throw your silence before he shoots the Tracer, you probably save the whole team. You can gust out, or you can force pike this way, throw the Manta illusions, and then just kill them naturally. Either way, something has to happen. But as soon as you see this vortex, you got to stop trying to hit this Roche, because the AA is not going to steal it. He's not going to blink dagger, toss someone like a tiny can, try and get the Aegis. And even if he does, okay, he denies the Aegis, and you guys have to kill him twice, whatever. But the real issue is you don't want him to kill you, the level 25 Drow, your buddy, the level 20 mid Viper, and everyone else, and basically, single-handedly turn this around, because this looks really bad with all the poison hitting everyone. If he gets the Frost Blast Tracer on you guys with the Poison Nova, this isn't going to, look good. So really try and react to these things here. Let's see how this plays out. Still hitting, still hitting. Okay, so you Manta styled for more damage, and you continue to hit Roche. Hansen forces out, or the Viper forces out. You go towards, okay, and you start hitting them. That's good. You're really low ticking out. That's amazing. 130 some health. You didn't shatter. So if you Manta dodged the Tracer, then that was really good. I actually want to go back and see that. I want to see if you Manta dodged the Tracer. Well, these guys don't, because that would be impressive. Oh, it wasn't a Tracer. He doesn't have his ult. Okay, so it was just a regular right click. I thought it was the Tracer. Okay, either way, that's fine. Same thing happens. Lion ends up double disabling them, and you guys get it. And because you're not frostbitten, you die, you stay alive. So if that was a frostbite instead of just a regular chilling touch, you and the Viper would have both died there, and that would have been a huge screw up for the team, because that would be, our two primary high value guys would have gotten deleted for free because we didn't have any sort of protection here on the outside. So it would have been a team wide screw up. You are by far the highest net value, and that would have been a huge kill. The 16,000 killing the 21,000 would have been really bad. It would have put your death timers probably on a pretty long cooldown. So you would have been out for 100 seconds. Viper would have been out for 80 seconds, and that would have been terrible, because their whole team would have come back. We would have been on the back foot with an Aegis probably picked up on Sand King or something, but then we wouldn't have even had a good person to take the second life. So, all right, enough on that. You decide to eat the cheese here, so that's interesting, and that's a communication error, or maybe just a decision error. So the Lion leaves, the Lion goes out this way, and everyone's low health. He saw it. He saw everybody had no health. Told everyone to go back and heal. So the Lion is low health. The Viper is extremely low health. The Sand King's full, but what's the Sand King going to do? And then the Drow was extremely low right before you ate the cheese. You decided to eat the cheese and shove mid while the rest of the team was backing, and that is it's just you doing your own thing as opposed to following the team call, which ended up working out fine here, but we didn't have the cheese for the next fight. It would have been a nice asset to have, and everyone could have walked out, farmed up a little bit. We could have taken this top outpost here. Everyone could have gotten full health and mana. Yeah, the Underlord would have been back alive, but we weren't in a race to try and shove the space in, so we're not on like a timer. We don't have the short-term shove strat. We have the better scaling game, and we can take our time, sort of in the macro strategy. But you decided to eat the cheese yourself and sort of shove in. Viper's not going to be able to help you. He's got very little health here. I don't think anyone has a salve ready for him. Okay, I've got a couple there, so I should probably come back and salve him. Sand King's out of mana. No big cooldowns missing, so all in all, it didn't work out that poorly. But you got to talk that kind of strat out, or not even do it if the team captain already says we're resetting and not shoving. But you decide to shove, so let's see how that works. Vipers, notice how so you guys are fighting this. Notice how Viper's just hiding in the back. Viper was way back here. While you guys ran up that lane, Viper's just hanging out here because he can't do anything. He's got 500 health, so he can't participate because he's at risk of getting blown up by the Tiny combo. Lion, same thing. If Tiny finds Lion, Avalanche tosses him, deletes him, lose the gem here, so that's bad. Thankfully, Sand King had enough health to basically frontline for us, and we keep shoving in. All right, I think this is it. Oh no, wait, there's one more lost fight here. Okay, so this is another fight where we all lose and die. So at this point, I think the call was let Drow hit the buildings from afar and everybody else guard. And then someone, I think it was Sand King, ends up initiating behind the tower and starting the fight, whether we want to or not. And the Drow survives as the only survivor. Everyone else on the team dies, and Drow still has the Aegis. And it's good that Drow has the Aegis, but it's wasted when everyone else around the Drow dies. Because if the other team rallies, then they kill the Drow twice for free because there are no teammates to help. So Sand King runs uphill. This is a misplay. You're standing on the low ground shooting up, which is actually perfect. So this is a big improvement from top lane where you were standing at the top of the stairs right in front of the tower. So this is exactly where you should be, and this is right. But the rest of the fight goes poorly here. Yep, hitting the towers for free. Sand King gets back. You're still hitting the tower for free. We're under no pressure to rush the siege. Keep our distance. Wait for another creep wave. This is good. Okay, nice big heal coming up from the Sand King. Viper got a salve, so he's back up to full. All right, we're just going to clear this out. That's good. You don't have to waste your manta if you don't want to. That's fine, but at least get out of the circle. There you go. Oh, you got caught twice. So you stood too long in the circle. Just attack walk as you're moving out, and you wouldn't have gotten rooted twice. Not a big deal. So since we're sieging at this point, you're not going to need your... okay, so this is a misplay. So Sand King goes in. He goes in for the stun. Looks like Viper is going to chase. You're going to chase. Lion is eventually going to blink up to right here and double stun these guys. But this is a misplay. So either Sand King is initiating to try and distract them while you continue to hit the tower, or you guys are full committing on to try and kill all the enemy heroes. Either way, you got to get there faster, and it's got to be decisive. So you're either standing in the back, you pop your manta, all three you and the two illusions are hitting the tower, or force staff up, get in the fight, gust, and then throw everything. But this fight, I think, kind of whiffles here. Everyone kind of like hangs out in this area a little bit, and we don't really do anything decisive, and we lose the whole thing. All right, so Lion comes up, he stuns. You throw the multi-shot, that's good. You throw the gust as well, okay, that's good. Gust and multi-shot same time, that's perfect. You can manta here for more damage and to just put out more targets. You're not defensive at this point. You really need to be as high damage as possible. Your pike's not going to work yet, so I guess you're waiting for the lifesteal to be attackable. Okay, you should manta to get out of this route, but you're standing in it. Okay, everyone's going to go on the Sand King. He doesn't have the mana to come back, so he's dead. Might get Underlord. Let's see how this works. Okay. Underlord should pop right there. That's excellent. You're rooted again. Pop your Manta style. Get out of that. Viper forces away. That's fine. You're just standing there. You start to run. That's good. All right. Are you going to force staff? Okay. So you do force staff just defensively. Viper dies. Witch Doctor dies, and you live. Okay. That was a... Okay, that's fine. You ate the Frost Blast right there for no reason. Oh no, that didn't hit you. That's good. I thought you got hit by the Tracer. All right, so overall that fight was that went poorly for everybody. But you get out, you save the Aegis, and I think we use the Aegis in the next push to do something. All right, that was a weird use of your BKB. That was completely wasted, but I think you're on minimum time anyway. Yeah, 5 seconds, so it doesn't really matter. You've backpacked your Morbid Mass. That's interesting. I don't mind that, actually. I mean, Power Treads, not as much value. Going back for Satanic. I think we smoke off of your Aegis. What's left of the Aegis. Yep, here we go. All right, big kill on that guy. Easy peasy. Well, let's watch this fight again. Let's see what you're doing here. Alright, so Lion sees this guy and jumps across the river to disable. Everyone else is getting close. Okay, so that silence right there was wasted. So Lion blinks across and he initiates and he's got the Hex and he'll follow that up with a stun. Your silence there is completely wasted because you're basically pushing him further away from the rest of the team that needs to do damage. Lion isn't the guy that do damage. He's the one that blinks in from the side, disables them, as the support. He's just holding them in place for you and Viper really to punch him. So you throwing the silence there just pushes him further away from you. So now you have to keep running to get closer to him. Viper has to keep running to get closer to him. Witch Doctor's Maledict range is, of course, real short, so if he has to run all the way up to try and hit the Maledict if he's playing on it, and you're just stacking the Silence over the Hex, and that doesn't do anything. It's a short cooldown, so it's not a real big deal, but the rest of this fight is going to keep going, so you want to have that Gust ready for whatever the next part of the fight is. So let's keep going here. Frost arrows, again, you're standing still, you're not orb walking. You've got to orb walk those, but everyone else is doing their thing. Fingers are... Tracer's coming in, you're a little too far, that's fine. Only Lion gets hit by the Tracer, that's excellent. No Sand King goes in, okay. That's fine, not a big deal. He dies before he gets the cast. You could Force Staff in. Oh no, he's going to Poison Nova, so you probably want to stay on the outside, I guess. You throw your AoE nuke, that's good. Not sure if you're waiting for this ult from Venno or what. See, now, if you had your Gust, you could Force Staff into him and silence him, and then prevent him from using his Poison Nova, and that would probably be the best contribution of Silence, is to keep everyone from being poisoned in this fight. You got to move your camera, so you're probably just attacking the ground at this point, because the fight is over here, and your camera is still centered over here. So you haven't moved your camera to the side, and this is kind of irritating me, because now I can't see what's going on. And you can't see what's going on. You're just... In fact, at this point, you have no idea what's going on in the fight. You don't even know who you're hitting. So your character is you probably left it to like just auto attack by default. And for all you know, you're shooting at a Plague Ward right now. So you really want to slide your camera over here and kind of pay attention to what's going on in the fight, because by shifting over, you can see exactly who's low, who's coming in from the side, where everyone is, and what you need to do with your other spells. But when your camera was, let's see, where is it, back here? You have no idea where the Tiny is. For all you know, Tiny is behind you. You haven't even seen him appear yet. Venno is dying, and he's almost definitely dead. He got his ult off, but basically you don't know where the other three heroes are. There's a Life Stealer somewhere, there's an AA somewhere, and there's a Tiny somewhere, and you really gotta be paying attention to that, because it's really critical that you can pike one of these guys. You haven't used your BKB yet, and that's good, so you probably want to save that for if like Tiny jumps on you, but you really want to use your Hurricane Pike to save someone here. So you can you can force yourself into the fight closer if you think you really need to get aggressive. But keeping your camera way out here, you can't even see who the things are on this side, and it's really limiting your ability to fight. So just kind of like just tap the side of the screen if you're using Edge Pan, and just kind of as the fight moves away from you, just keep up with it and just kind of chase it to wherever the fight goes. All right, let's see this. So yeah, now everyone's off map. You do pop a Manta, interesting. More damage. Now you shift over, that's good. All right, look down, there's a Tiny there. Use your Gust to save. Okay, that's good. You did use the Gust. Silence perfectly right after the stun, so that was an excellent silence, and you did have it off cooldown. Let's see how the rest of this goes. I think this is over now. This is just a game-winning shove here at this point. Yeah. Okay, so all that's pretty important. All right. Easy peasy.